Welcome back to Whispers of Turkish Stars, your primary source for everything unfolding in the glittering world of fame and feelings. Today we bring a revelation that froze timelines and silenced rooms, a turning point no one expected and everyone is talking about. If you're not subscribed yet, this is the moment to do it, because what we're about to share is the kind of truth that shakes an entire industry. We are diving into the announcement that stunned audiences on December 17, 2025. A date that will linger in conversations and headlines for a long time. The Turkish entertainment scene, and by extension the international arena, held its breath when the news broke that involved two of the most adored stars of recent years, Gökberk Yıldırım and Cemre Arda. Their easy chemistry, their work ethic, and the way they seem to carry a private tenderness in public spaces turned them into the couple people rooted for without even realizing it. Their journey through the hit series Karasta delivered emotions so intense that the characters felt like neighbors in our own lives, and together they turned scenes into memories. For anyone new to their story, Gökberk Yıldırım has been the definition of magnetic on screen. His performances have the quiet gravity that pulls you in, a gaze that suggests hidden storms, a voice that carries unspoken stakes, a presence that makes you think a single decision could change everything. He is the kind of actor who can lead a show with a stillness more powerful than most monologues. Cemre Arda, in turn, has that rare clarity in her craft that makes her heartbreaks feel intimate and her triumphs feel shared. In Karasta, as she channeled a heroine whose hope wrestled with fate, audiences around the world recognized in her a familiar ache, a resilience that felt personal. She made a name people whispered with affection, and through that role she stepped into a global spotlight she wore with grace. Off the set, Gökberk and Cemre spent years under the tender scrutiny of cameras and crowds, crafting an image that many interpreted as unshakable. They were the pair you would expect to see at a premiere, side by side, the duo whose small gestures, an encouraging glance, a quiet smile, suggested a private language only they understood. And perhaps that is why the development we address today felt like a door closing in a house where the lights had always been left on. The revelation arrived with the precision of an earthquake. Gökberk Yıldırım and Cemre Arda have decided to separate. Yes, that is the message that crossed every newsroom and rocketed across timelines in seconds, the news few could believe even as they read it. After years of building careers and a shared life that many admired from afar, the couple released a joint statement confirming they will continue on different paths. The confirmation landed on December 17, 2025, two careful paragraphs delivered through their representatives, measured in tone and deliberate in content. There were no accusations, no blame, no shadows cast on unnamed third parties. Instead, there was an insistence on mutual respect, a promise that love remains but will change its shape, and an acknowledgement that their individual growth required a decision no one makes lightly. The choice of words was clean and dignified, and yet every omission opened 1,000 questions. How did two people who appeared so aligned arrive here? Was it the noise of fame, the relentless logistics of schedules, the events that keep you one step ahead of sleep and two steps behind your own feelings? Did they weigh future dreams and realize their maps pointed in directions that could not be traveled together? Or was it, as their message implied, the organic evolution of two artists who realized they needed room to become who they are meant to be? Minutes after the announcement, the online universe surged. Timelines flooded with edits of their scenes, threads threaded with memories, and phrases like Gökberk Cemre always, Karasta hearts forever, and even endless sorrow began to travel with the speed of a shared heartbeat. Some voices ached openly, lamenting the end of a couple they saw as proof that fame did not have to harden love. Others offered thoughtful kindness, reminding everyone that private choices deserve private grace, even when made by public figures whose lives feel borrowed by strangers. The conversation reflected the contradictions of love and loyalty amplified by public attention, disappointment softened by gratitude, grief tempered by respect. Before this moment, it is no exaggeration to say that Gökberk and Cemre were a cornerstone of Turkish pop culture and a reference point far beyond national borders. The global success of Karasta transformed them into faces recognized in cities they hadn't had time to visit and created an emotional imprint across languages. Viewers didn't just admire their craft, they invested in the idea that what they channeled on set had roots off it. When the series wrapped, their appearances together, their careful glimpses into life away from the cameras, their habit of praising each other's work in interviews, all of it kept the thread alive. Which is why this news, however respectful in tone, reshapes the landscape. Fans wonder whether they will ever share a set again, whether film or streaming projects will find ways to harness that undeniable chemistry, or whether this choice draws a curtain no director dares to lift. Reputations, possibilities, and the path forward for both of them are now questions suspended in air, their answers forming slowly in the quiet after the shock. What is certain is that the news spotlights the delicate balance of love under the lens. The pace of this industry, long nights turning into early mornings, the distance between shoots, the demands of staying present when every second begs to be shared tests even the most grounded hearts. The pair chose words of respect, and that respect echoes in how they have carried themselves in the hours since. No leaks. No theatrical unfollows. No cryptic captions weaponized into arrows. Just care. A dignity their supporters have noticed and praised. We have been following every official statement and rechecking timelines from the past few weeks, and the picture remains consistent, a measured, private transition, initiated before rumors could learn to walk. What comes next for Gökberk and Cemre is the question that keeps circling. Both are standing at crossroads defined not by loss, but by possibility. Gökberk has been circling several ambitious projects, including a period piece that would ask him to lead with restraint and fire, and a contemporary drama where moral gray zones are the fuel of every scene. Casting sources describe him as the name directors mention first in rooms where risks are taken and stakes are high. Cemre, for her part, has been carving out a path that leans into range. She has been reading scripts that promise complexity rather than comfort, and there is talk of a film festival run that would place her in conversations about awards beyond domestic borders. She has the poise for it, the instinct to braid fragility with force in a way that makes a role unforgettable. If there is a quiet blessing inside this turbulent chapter, it may be that both artists are about to excavate new parts of themselves and offer audiences performances born from hard-earned clarity. And yet, as careers stand ready to expand, a legacy remains untouched by the present storm. Carasta's imprint on viewers is permanent. There was an electricity between them that no edit could fully capture and no rewrite could improve. The memory of Kemal and Nyen, two people pushed and pulled by forces they could not tame, will endure independent of how their performers live their real lives. The scenes that made fans hold their breath will still spark when replayed 1,000 times. Awards tarnish if you store them wrong, but chemistry like that never rusts. It becomes a point of light you return to when you need proof that art can catch the exact temperature of a heartbeat beat. So here we are, on the far side of an announcement we wish we did not have to deliver, yet grateful for the candor with which it was handled. To summarize what unfolded on December 17, 2025, Gökberk, Yıldırım and Cemre Arda released a joint statement confirming their separation. They framed the decision within language that emphasizes mutual regard and the imperative of individual growth, offering no fuel to scandal and little space for cynicism. The reaction has been a tide of emotion, surprise, sorrow, disbelief, and in many corners, a deep breath of acceptance that wishes each of them happiness on the road ahead. Whatever distance now exists between their lives does not diminish the admiration they have earned, together and alone. Their work has been a gift. Their care in speaking to us now is another. We will keep listening and updating you as more becomes clear, and we will continue to do so with the same respect they have shown in this moment. Tell us how this landed in your home. Did the news strike you like thunder, or did you sense a quiet shift in recent weeks? Do you think choosing separate paths was the right move in light of this demanding world, or does it still feel like a chapter closed before its time? What would you hope to see next from each of them, and would you welcome a future collaboration if the right story called them back into the same frame? Your thoughts give shape to this conversation. And if you have found value in how we walk through moments like these, stay with us. Like this video, share it with those who have watched these two with the same devotion you have, and make sure you are subscribed to Whispers of Turkish Stars with notifications on, so you never miss when stories like this unfold. We'll be here with the developments, the context, and the care this story deserves. Until then, hold close what their work has given you, and let's meet again soon, with more news, more truths, and more of the human heartbeat that makes entertainment feel like home.